hi, Ultimate Wellness Tribe. Today I'm joined by Dr. Vincent Pedre, a board-certified internist, functional medicine practitioner, and best-selling author of Happy Gut and the GutSMART Protocol. A globally recognized expert in gut health, he is the founder of Pedre, Integrative Health and Happy Gut Life, where he blends Western and Eastern medicine to heal the gut from inside out. I'm honored to welcome Dr. Pedre as a speaker at the Ultimate Wellness Conference at Faena Forum in Miami Beach on September 26th through 28th. Hi, Vincent. Thank you for supporting the conference and thank you for joining me today.
It's great to see you, and I'm super excited for the event.
Me too. So at the conference, you will be speaking at the panel discussion on September 26th. I encourage all who listen to our podcast, join us in person at the beautiful venue and meet Vincent in person. And you will discuss with other longevity leaders and opinion leaders the topic True Health in Time of Uncertainty. So, in the world filled with noise of misinformation and misunderstanding about health, what do you think the most common myth about gut health, and how do you help people cut through these confusions?
I think the biggest myth that I have really dedicated the last 10 years to teaching people about is that the gut is only about the gut. And if you have gut symptoms, it only has to do with your digestive system and nothing to do with the rest of your body. And what we have learned through the science and also just through clinical practice is that everything is connected to the gut. The immune system, our metabolism, our insulin sensitivity, our weight, our mental clarity, how often we get sick, even our sinus health, everything, our sleep, our energy, even just like how well you can build muscle mass, all of that is connected to your gut health. And it's been the one thing that for the last like 100 years, it's been ignored. And now it's really starting to come to the forefront that everybody's realizing that if you want to be healthy, you have to pay attention to your gut.
Yeah, like you said, the gut is gateway to overall wellness. Yeah, correct.
Yes.
Yes, and in your practice, you beautifully bridge this functional medicine with Eastern healing traditions. And what do you believe modern medicine can learn from ancient wisdom when it comes to the healing the gut? So, what kind of time-tested practices maybe you suggest to incorporate at everyday basis as a habit? And what do you think we should bring from that ancient wisdom to modern holistic functional medicine?
I think more so now than ever before with our constant connectedness to our phones, our smartphones, social media. We are in an onslaught of our immune system and our nervous system are under attack all the time. We're getting worn out. So many people that I see are in this fight or flight response, like constant fight or flight. So one of the places that I go with my patients is really honing in and talking about the importance of internal practices that help to calm the nervous system, like
Mhm.
breath work, meditation, yoga, qigong, tai chi, or even like if you want to go and have something that's going to help your nervous system. If you find it's hard for you to sit and meditate and do breath work and all that,
Mhm.
then I think acupuncture is a really great adjunct for helping to kind of even out and activate more of that parasympathetic tone. But
Mhm.
it's a non-optional
Mhm.
nowadays. I think
Mhm.
we all are victims of overstimulation. And
Y-
what we need is to connect more with nature and to ground and to calm our nervous systems.
Yeah, I also believe that we should do our best to switch from this sympathetic to parasympathetic mode of our autonomic nervous system, and there are many practices to help us with this. There are some simple practices starting from breathing and meditation. There are many devices out there, and some people can benefit more from devices, from guided meditations. Some people benefit more
Yeah,
from time-tested practices, connection, reconnection with nature. And you also
100%.
mentioned acupuncture. Yeah, but probably for such practices, you invite patients to your clinic, or how do you suggest to practice? Is it provided as a part of your protocol, or you just suggest them to visit to see other
Now,
practitioners?
I used to do acupuncture for many years,
Oh,
but now
then.
because my practice is more telemedicine, I don't do that
Mm.
any. And I recommend practitioners or for people to find because it has to be convenient to where they're located. So to find a
Exactly.
practitioner that they can go see, because with acupuncture you need repetition, and the more regularly that you do it, the better it is for you.
Yes, and I think it's one of the best practices to release tension in muscles, and then the body, when it's relaxed, it sends signals to our brain, and our brain can relax also.
So, we
So,
always think like the way to the brain is through our thoughts, but also the way to the brain is through our bodies as well.
yeah, this body-mind practices, because our vagus nerve sends information from body to brain. It's connected to all organs and all systems in our body. But what is interesting that it sends 20% of information from our brain to body and 80% from the body to brain. So it's
Yes.
opposite. And many people like to incorporate some affirmations, neurofeedback, which are also very powerful techniques. But that is interesting thing that practicing yoga, relaxation of your body, somatic breathing,
Mhm.
acupressure, it's all about relaxing the body and sending
All of those
this.
things. And I think the great thing is that we have so many tools at our dispense that there's another one that I recommend to patients from time to time, which is called the Alpha Stim, which is
Mm,
an FDA approved device for both anxiety and depression. And by attaching the stim to the earlobe, it actually helps to activate brainstem pathways that increase serotonin and dopamine, but also help to activate the vagus nerve, which is what you were talking
mm,
about. How
yes.
important it is to be in this ventral vagal tone, which
Mhm.
helps improve things like heart rate variability. It improves your ability to relax, but also it puts your body in a state that is a natural healing state.
What are two, three daily habits that can make a meaningful difference once people want to start heal their gut? Mindfulness and relaxation, but any other two, three habits on daily basis to heal the gut?
For me, one of the things that I teach people is the importance of gratitude.
Hmm.
We know that when people journal a daily gratitude, that it puts your mind into a more positive state and
Hmm.
and actually helps to relax the body. And we know from studies with even cancer patients that the ones that have a more positive mental
Eh,
outlook are the ones that tend to more likely survive.
hmm.
So getting into gratitude, which can be very hard for someone who's been suffering and has had chronic symptoms for a very long time, sometimes it can feel uh, unnatural to express gratitude, but I think we can always find something to be grateful for. And secondly, like how you start your day. So, for example, like starting your day with a glass of room temperature water with some
Hmm.
lemon helps to wake up the digestive system
Hmm.
before you start to introduce foods and eat.
Hmm.
That's a really nice way to help to stimulate stomach acid production and bile
Just water?
and all
Just
that.
water?
Water with lemon juice, so
Lemon juice.
with a squeezed lemon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm a big proponent of some type of movement practice
Mm-hmm.
to because movement helps with the digestion. For example, I had
And
people then,
boost lymphatic system. Once I
yeah,
awaken,
circulation. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it can be like bouncing on a trampoline or doing yoga poses and especially forward bends and twisting poses, which is really
Mm.
good for the abdomen. Or
Mm-hmm.
even cardio, because cardio for some people helps to stimulate bowel movements, especially for people who tend to towards constipation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as our ancestors, they first chased some food, then they had something to eat. So it's recommended first starting your morning with water movement and then delay a little bit your breakfast once your system already activated, including your digestive system, lymphatic system. I completely agree. And
Yeah.
once we are talking about morning routine, and I'm also thrilled to announce that Happy Gut Coffee has joined as a sponsor at our highly anticipated Ultimate Wellness Conference. Yeah, 26, 28. Please join us so you can meet Dr. Vincent in person and you also can taste Happy Gut Coffee. Happy Gut Coffee will be presented at our expo as one of the eco-friendly, sustainable, and healthy products, which we are honored to introduce to our community. And also, the team will serve coffee at our VIP lunch. We have dedicated space for our VIPs. We organized this year a really extraordinary VIP experience. On Friday, we gather VIPs for conversations, for some dinner, and also we have this VIP lounge at the conference. So yeah, Happy Gut Coffee has joined us, and Happy Gut Coffee is low acid, malt free, brew crafted for gut sensitive individuals. So for
Yeah.
those people who are sensitive to some conventional coffee, Happy Gut Coffee is really great solution. What inspired you to create this brand, and what is the mission behind this brand, and why it's so special?
The mission is to continue to teach people how to live a healthy, happy life through balancing their gut health, because the gut is the foundation, is the root for everything. And part of the inspiration for creating this toxin-free, low-acid, mold-free coffee that's gut-friendly and also tastes delicious is that this is where people start their day. Like this is where people are at. And what I realize is that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are drinking coffee that is actually harmful to their gut. It might be ridden with pesticides, with mycotoxins like ochratoxin. There was one study that looked at green coffee beans, harvested green coffee beans, and 13 out of 25 samples were contaminated with ochratoxin A. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important to know where your coffee comes from and the fact that coffee is the most consumed beverage worldwide, I thought.
Absolutely.
And so people are not going to give up their coffee, but I wanted to bring a coffee to the market that was healthy and that people could trust and know that it's gut friendly and it's not going to cause heartburn, acidity, but also more importantly, it's not going to cause the unseen damage that is being caused by drinking coffee that is not organic or from poor quality beans.
Where do you source from this Happy Gut coffee?
Coffee comes from different places depending on the growing conditions.
Mm-hmm.
For example, it can come from Colombia, but also Guatemala. It's all organic farms,
Mm-hmm.
biodynamic, and part of it is like what people don't realize is that if it's a single source coffee, then it can be a bit harder to maintain the quality of the bean and also the flavor profile of the bean from season to season. So it's actually better to have a coffee that has a combination of beans, because that way, that's a way to control and make sure that the flavor stays the same season after season, because, weather patterns change and sometimes there's more rain, sometimes there's less rain.
Mm,
So we go through a lot of care to make
mm.
sure that the coffee flavoring and the experience stays the same from season to season. And this is our first year. It's been our latest offering, but it's
Interesting.
been actually out of all the things that we do at Happy Gut, it's been one of our most popular and
Mm.
actually growing very fast. And we're getting incredible feedback from people. They love it. And so I'm excited to share it with everyone who's going to be attending the Ultimate Wellness as well as the VIPs.
Yeah, right. So how do you explain this low acid? Why it's low acid coffee? Because probably everybody understands what does it mean organic, mold free, and now consumers they are very well educated and they really look for good brands which are mold free, toxins
Yeah.
free. What is low acid? What does it mean?
I mean, simply like, when you drink a coffee that is kind of
Mm-hmm.
acidic, it just immediately as you drink it, like you can tell it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to sit well in your gut. But the way that we get to that low acidity is by roasting the beans, but making sure that the beans aren't burnt in the roasting
Mm-hmm.
process.
Mm-hmm.
But the darker the roast, the lower the acidity of the bean. And also, it actually drops the caffeine content a bit. So, a darker roast is not going to make you as jittery as a light roast. So, a lot of people think that they want a light roast, but what they really want is a dark roast.
Interesting. So this Happy Gut coffee uh, supports digestion, healthy microbiome, and also it makes our daily ritual both energizing and healing, which is
Yeah.
great. Talking in general about coffee, do you suggest drinking coffee first thing in the morning before breakfast, or you better suggest to do it after some meal? I personally do drink coffee, but only after breakfast. I don't like drinking coffee on first.
I used to be the same where my I couldn't tolerate drinking
Mm,
coffee
yeah.
on an empty stomach.
Mhm.
Until I came out with Happy Gut Coffee and found that actually it is so mild, and because it's low acidity and it's free of, all potential toxins and things that
Mm.
might irritate the gut, that I can actually drink it on an empty stomach. And I much rather have my coffee first. Or while I'm preparing breakfast, I also prepare my coffee. But some mornings I like to fast and just have the coffee in the morning and then have my first meal at lunchtime. So it
Uh,
depends. I think it's personal preference, and
mhm.
everybody has their relationship with coffee. For me, coffee is part of my morning ritual, and I like to make it as a pour over, make it slowly, savor the aromas, and then sit and sip it before I start my day.
Wonderful. So, if dear friends, dear followers, if coffee is also your every morning ritual, you can make it also even more healing, even more energizing with Happy Gut Coffee. And please welcome, join us in person at the Faena Forum to taste this wonderful coffee and to meet Dr. Vincent in person. And you also mentioned that you actually have some other products along with coffee. What else do you want to bring to the forum, and what are the best-selling products and how they help support gut health?
Yeah, we have a powder called Leaky Gut Advantage, which is
Mhm.
a gut healing powder with L-glutamine, DGL, aloe, N-glucosamine in quantities and doses that have been shown in research to help improve the the lining of the intestines, improve tight
Mm,
junction, so reverse leaky gut. And it goes
mm,
really great with the coffee. And then we have a collagen powder that we came out with that's called Flex and Digest Collagen. It's both for the gut, the skin, hair,
mhm.
nails.
Yeah.
but also for the joints. And
Mm.
our collagen has ingredients that are backed by 15 clinical research studies, one of them showing that it reduces inflammation at the joint margin by over 40%. So it's really great for people who are athletes, people who are into
Mm.
longevity, anyone who's getting older, like 40s, 50s, and really wants to preserve their
Basically,
joints.
for everyone who wants to move freely with ease, because yeah, we need extra support for our joints. When we age, everyone, absolutely everyone wants to have this ability to move with ease. And
Yes.
you mentioned this powder for healing intestinal permeability, mucosal barrier. Here,
Yeah.
I want to just emphasize also that inflamed gut also means actually systemic inflammation, because
Yeah.
uh, yeah, our blood circles throughout all the body, all organs, and in many cases, intestinal permeability means some inflammation in our brain. And yeah, healing the gut, it's really important for systemic inflammation, and really important for overall health and wellness. Along with this powder, what other uh, foods, maybe nutrition, do you suggest to heal inflammation in our gut and bring back this mucosal barrier and junction, yeah, villi, and improve absorption of nutrients. And it's also mucosal barrier also protects us from foci, some bacteria, fungi, yeast, so they don't come to bloodstream. What do you suggest to heal the inflammation?
I will tell you, one thing that I do is I check patients' omega-3 index, particularly
Mm-hmm.
looking at their omega-3s in the red blood cell membrane to see what their omega-3 sufficiency is. And over, I'm finding that people are actually omega-3 deficient. And
Mm-hmm.
that shifts the balance in the body from inflammation or from anti-inflammation to inflammation. So eating foods that are rich in omega-3s, but the best ones are actually going to be things like wild salmon,
Mm-hmm.
sardines, like
Yeah.
animal-based sources because they
Mm-hmm.
have EPA and DHA in a form that our bodies can use more readily, or taking a fish oil supplement because that's sometimes the best way to really get those levels up if you're not good about eating those foods, or some people don't like salmon and sardines.
You
And you,
know, I don't much suggest fish oil just because of this Totox level. If it goes through the process of heating, there are some cancerogens and some
yeah, I only
toxins.
recommend fish oils that are made through processes that I trust and that
Which
are
brands?
independently. One of my favorite brands is Nordic Naturals because
Yeah, yeah, one of
they
the
send their
best.
oil to independently get tested and make sure that there are no heavy metals or other
Mm-hmm.
toxins. You have to be really careful out there because some people think like, oh, I'm gonna buy a fish oil at Costco or at Walgreens.
Yes, exactly, exactly. This
And
is what
if
I'm
you're
saying.
there are certain things where you don't want to skimp on the cost, where going cheap is actually going
Mm-hmm.
to hurt your health more than
Yes.
anything. So it's better to invest in a fish oil, even if it is a bit more expensive, because you really want to make sure that it's a good quality.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. And for those people who don't want supplementing or eat fish, or they don't eat meat, they don't eat vegans. And what is the best source of omega-3 from plant-based food?
That's going to be much harder because
Yeah, as with protein, with amino
the
acids, it's much
the
harder.
the body does not convert the
Mm.
linoleic and linolenic acids from things like flax seeds, chia
Mm-hmm.
seeds,
Mm.
nuts.
Yeah.
Those don't get only about 5% of that gets converted into the omega-3s that we need, the EPA,
Mm.
DHA.
Yeah.
But there are algae-based omega-3
Mm.
supplements, you
Mm-hmm.
have to take much higher doses of them because they can't put so much into each soft gel. But
Mm.
that is another avenue that I've used with patients who are vegan or vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, it's just so much better to get it from an animal-based source.
Yes,
It's
yes.
gonna be it's gonna be more bioavailable, much more easy for the body
Mm-hmm.
to use. But even sometimes I can convince a vegetarian to take a omega-3 fish oil,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's higher quality.
I understand. And if we think about fish as a main source of omega-3, how many times per week do you suggest eat, for example, sardines or wild-caught salmon?
Yeah, the recommended amount, and this is just general, it's
Mm-hmm.
not based on if someone's deficient, they may need more,
Mm-hmm.
or they need to enhance with supplementation. But typically, 2, 3 ounces, 3 ounces per serving, and twice a week. So, like
Mm-hmm.
for example, 2, 3 ounce fillets of salmon every week. Make sure that it's wild caught salmon or sockeye salmon, which is always wild, so that you're avoiding all the different toxins that are found in farm raised or even organic farm raised salmon.
And how does collagen, and specifically your supplement collagen, complement this gut healing? What it does for gut?
Collagen is makes up all the tissues in the body. It's in the gut,
Mm-hmm.
it's on the skin, it's in the
Mm. Mm-hmm.
joints. So it's a
I
very
see.
important part of our connective tissue and for the health of the body.
Mm-hmm. So once we heal inflammation and we supply enough building blocks, which are amino acids, collagen,
Yeah.
then our bodies can start rebuild this layering and yeah, heal from inside
Exactly. And
out.
collagen is rich in glycine, which is
Mm-hmm.
has very powerful cellular protective effects. So it's also really nice to get that from collagen, which also glycine helps with liver detoxification. So collagen is one of these supplements that has many, many varied effects throughout the body. It's not just for beauty, but it's also for internal health.
For beauty from inside out sounds fantastic and very promising. Thank you for providing this educational information. It was really interesting to learn more about your product, about your mission behind the product, and your practice. And I look forward to meeting you in person at Faena Forum at our Ultimate Wellness Conference on September 26th through 28th. It's going to be 3 transformative days, and we offer not only impressive lineup of speakers and interesting talks, not only cutting-edge technologies, biohacking devices, and eco-friendly products, but also we provide these immersive experiences, starting from meditation to sound healing to breath work. So welcome, welcome. Please join us in person and enjoy this transformative weekend with us. And yeah, thank you once again for joining me today. Thank you once again for supporting the conference. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
It's a pleasure, and I can't wait to meet all the people that are going to come. I think it's going to be an incredible experience for them.